welcome to NBS Health Extra. And while life is great, unfortunately, there are certain things that life does not prepare us for, especially when it comes to our health. And sometimes, before we realize, it's way too late. And in our defense, how would we have known? How did we even get to know if somebody didn't try to reach out and help us out? At least point us to the right direction when it comes to our health. And here on the show, we're very lucky to have Dr. Tamale Ismail to help us put our health in line. We have a lot to talk about today. Take a walk in the evening. You will realize there's people probably on the road jogging. Go to the gyms. The gyms are flooded. And it's a good sign, right? But the question is, how did we even get there in the first place? We're in real big trouble, Doctor, are we?
True.
And that's exactly why we've come to Taimex Nutrition Center, so you can save the day. First of all, remind us what Taimex is all about.
As introduced, my name is Dr. Tamale Ismail from Taimex Nutrition Center. And of course, Taimex Nutrition Center, we are found on Nasa Road, on Entebbe Road, Nasa Entebbe Road Junction, on Conrad Plaza, on the second floor. We're also found in Imbarara, on High Street, on a building called Amazon House, on the first floor. You find the Taimex Nutrition Center. What is Taimex Nutrition Center? Taimex Nutrition Center, we represent Dr. Peter Diadamo, who is based in America, and we do what we call scientific, personalized, individualized nutrition. And here, what basically we do is to train you to be a doctor for yourself, so that nobody should understand your health better than yourself. Understand it first, and you know the cause of your problems before you try to run anywhere else. So that's what basically we do here. For viewers who have just seen it for the first time here on NBS, maybe there's that video which shows you exactly what happens here at Taimex Nutrition Center. So when you come in here, first thing we do is we take your blood. To remove that blood sample, we don't check for diseases. I repeat, we don't check for diseases, so don't fear that they will come here and find out that I'm HIV positive, I'm what. No. We only check for the blood group. That's our major interest. Because as we shall see through the program, the blood group plays a bigger role in your health and in your life, as we shall be seeing as the programs go on. After getting the blood group, then we do some measurements on your body type, on your body system. We call them phenotypes. Phenotypes are what we call observable genetic characteristics which you have. Like the angle of your jaw, is it 90, is it 120, the lower leg, the upper leg, what are their lengths, the length of your fingers, the size of your head, is it round like a ball, is it square like a bread? So all those are some of the things we look at, which we combine together. We combine those phenotypes, the observable genetic characteristics, combine them with the blood group and get what we call a genotype. This Dr. Peter Diadamo formulated out 6 genotypes from the 4 blood groups. Before, it was a blood group affair. Today, we are genotype. We have advanced from blood group deity to genotype deity. Now, when you get the genotype, what happens next? Of course, here now, once you get your genotype, then the summary of your life is just in front of you. 1, you know what foods to eat and not to eat. The foods to eat are the ones supposed to give you health. Number 2, you will know what exercise to do, because every body system has an exercise profile. The moment you are doing wrong exercises, you are not going to achieve what you should have achieved in an exercise. Then lifestyle strategy. How are you supposed to control stress, what of stress, and so on. So that one we also give it to you. Then we introduce you to things like food layering. I am not going to go into detail here. When you come to Taimex Nutrition Center, you can know what we mean. Food layering, food combination, quantity consumption. Because here we don't look at foods only, but also we show you in what quantity should you eat them, and in what frequency should you eat them. Then we show you the water consumption. How should you consume water for maximum benefits? Most people drink water like they are, as if they are cows taken to drink water. But there is a way you can drink water to be more effective. And how much water should you drink in a day? All these are some of the things that you get in there. And of course, all that exercise will cost you about 110,000 shillings. Okay. Now, if you have ailments, here in Taimex Nutrition Center, we deal with all sorts of ailments because for us, we have a holistic approach to your body system. So whatever ailment you have, I have pressure, I have diabetes, I have joint pains, we have been seeing those in the previous videos, constipation, IBD, and all many other diseases. We handle them here at Taimex Nutrition Center. But the charges for the food supplements for this particular different. Now, the food supplements which we give out at Taimex Nutrition Center, one, they are from foods which are compatible to your genotype. Number two, they have been extracted from organic foods. So that's why they don't have any
side effects.
They don't have side effects. So when you take them, they don't have any side effects. And secondly, you take them once in a lifetime. The dose will take you 30 days, whether you have pressure, whether you have diabetes, you have joint pains, you don't repeat this supplement. Here they don't, that's why we don't have marketing networks here that people will come. No, because you come here once, this is a one health stopping center. You come here, know yourself, train to be a doctor of yourself, you can take charge of your health. Now, for the supplements for things like a pressure, it may cost you about 900,000 shillings. Diabetes may go for about 800. If you have ulcers, it may go for about 700,000 shillings. You want to reduce weight, it may cost you about 750,000. Those are supplements. But the good thing,
for a month,
you take them only for 30 days, and you don't take them again till death.
And you're okay.
And you're okay.
Oh,
why? Because your work, you're going to start putting the right foods which are going to support your immune system, support your metabolism, give you energy, and so on and so on. So you don't need to be relying on foreign. Here in Taimex Nutrition Center, we don't believe in people relying on foreign things into their bodies to run their lives. Your body system have the capacity to be self-reliant if given the right foods, right exercises, and lifestyle strategies. So those are, then after that, we also introduce you to some of the natural foods as you see them, because when we tell you to take a quinoa, what is quinoa, we demonstrate to you what quinoa is. Then after that, we take you to my office. Then we cancel them because some people come, I can't live milk, I can't live matoke. I've been there. I have all people who have died, have they died of matoke? Oh, my grandfather used to. So we need to cancel them up in my office. That is the counseling that we do so that they didn't understand what they are taking. Right. Otherwise, at times I will tell you that if you are not going to take the diet, then don't bother spending your money on the supplements. Just go and eat on yourself, save money which will work you on other elements. So that is exactly what we are doing here at Taimex Nutrition Center.
Well, interesting there, and I believe the fact that it's a one-time thing, and you take this medication for just a month, and definitely there's results, and you don't have to struggle running around.
The only challenge maybe people get, because here when we trace your body system, ladies and gentlemen, the body system would be traced to where it came from.
Right.
There are people whom we have in Africa, and actually they are not supposed to be here.
Oh. Then
if you are your body system, you see, the world is made up of various types of people.
Okay.
And they all have they all share the 4 blood groups. So there are particular body systems which are accustomed to be in particular areas. Okay. I can give you an example. We have people who have been Taimex Nutrition Center. Blood group A teacher. I know you always complain there are no foods of food. But this body system you have is not African. It is for Americans, Europeans, Indians, Chinese, Japanese. So most of the foods here in Africa don't work for you. And actually, if you persist in eating these foods, this concerns blood group A and AB. If you persist in eating these foods, we saw that you are going to have a problem with your stomachs. Stomach, constipation, food poisoning, then eventually metabolism is going to be a problem, weight, diabetes, pressure, and actually, I'm not scaring, but 75% of people blood group A and AB, if they become reckless in Africa and they eat these African foods, they hardly reach age 50 without undergoing surgery. And actually, by the time they are age 60, most of them are saying bye to the world. They are having so many diseases. But why? Because most of the foods don't work for them.
Okay.
If you are blood group A and AB and you want to eat like a blood group, because blood group O is typical African body system. That's why for them, they live for long. You feed them, they are the ones who can go over blood group A, O, and part of B. They go on up 80, 90, 100 years. It's very rare that a blood group A or AB in Africa here will live for a long time
enough.
if he does not change, if he adopts the African diet.
Okay.
But if he stays here and adopts the diets that we give them, even over 100 they live.
They will,
They
and
live.
the doctor will help us find out exactly how. It's interesting. If you're not meant to be in Africa, where do you belong? But what's coming ahead is even tougher. Stick around. here comes the toughest topic of all times. People don't want to hear about the reality of weight. Yeah, you talk to women, make a weight comment, then you're in real big trouble. Actually, relationships have ended up going south simply because of weight comments that were not exactly, delivered correctly. So while we don't want to hear it, what if hearing it is the only wake-up call that we can actually have? And Taimex Nutrition, that's what they're all about. And today on the show, let's face the tough. We're talking about obesity. Who is obese? How do you know you're obese? And is there a hope? Help us, doctor. What's obesity?
Actually, even before we reach obesity, you see, we have weight classifications in nutrition, in health, in scientific nutrition. We have what we call underweight, normal weight, overweight, and so on. But first of all, the weight of a human being is based on his height.
Oh, yeah?
Okay?
Okay.
The day you are created in your mother's womb, God will write that this one, his height is going to be 1.68 meters. And you never go beyond. Therefore, he calculates and says this one, he must not exceed 75 kilograms. And he must not go below 50 kilograms. So all the body organs are tailored to serve 75 kilograms maximum. Okay? So that is how weight distinction comes in. So the weight of a human being is not seen by, to see that somebody is overweight or obese is not seen by eyes. It is a calculation. You just get your weight in kilograms and divide it with your height in meters squared. So if you are 70 kilograms and you are 1.68 meters, so you divide 70 divided by 1.68 by 1.68. The answer you get is the indicator of your weight. Now, if your answer is between 18 to 24.9, your weight is normal.
18
to 84.9.
Okay.
You are normal.
Okay.
That is the weight God made you to be, and therefore your body organs are very happy to serve that body system.
You're healthy.
You are healthy,
okay.
And actually you will have less health conditions. As long as the body can defend itself, everything is getting it. There's no scramble for resources.
When is it under?
Now, if it is below 18, you are underweight. That's also another problem. If you are between 25 and 30, then you are overweight. If the answer is between 25 and 30, then you are overweight.
Okay.
You are overweight. That means you are in the first stages of weight problems. You are in the kasiki, you are in the bachelor's part of weight. The moment you move into above 30, between 30 and 35, you are classified as being obese, grade 1.
30 and 35.
Between 30 and 35. If the answer is between 30 and 35, you are obese, grade 1. If you are between 35 and 40, you are obese, grade 2. If you are between 40 and 45, you are obese, grade 3. If you are between 45 and 50, you are obese, grade 4. Beyond that, you are morbid stupid. That means your body weight is twice. I mean, if your weight is twice your normal weight, then you will say you are morbid. Morbid, that means it's terrible, it's bad. That means you are in real serious trouble. So all those are classifications of weight.
Okay, but what causes obesity?
What causes obesity? What causes overweight?
Is it
First of all, there are some genetic hereditary factors, but those account for only about 5 or 6%.
Okay, so no excuses.
No excuses. About 85% of the overweight or obesity we have today is a result of eating foods not compatible to your blood groups and your genotypes. And this is where the big problem comes in. And how does this come in? Of course, one, if you eat foods which are not compatible to your blood group and genotype, earlier on we talked of lectins. We said that the foods we eat have lectins, which are micro protein nutrients, which at times interface differently with the blood groups. Now, if you are eating foods which are not compatible to your blood group, one, they can interfere with the thyroid hormones. Either if they can interfere with thyroid hormones, such that you have very little hormones produced, which causes things like apathy, sluggishness, coldness, and slow metabolism. You are going to put on weight.
Okay.
Then at times they may interfere negatively, whereby a lot of hormones are stimulated, are produced because of the wrong lectins in the foods, making somebody hyper. It makes them, then they are going to lose weight.
Okay.
So wrong foods can either make you lose weight or gain weight. That's why at Taimex Nutrition Center, if you want to lose weight, you come. If you want to gain weight, we know where the problem is. There are people who are eating and eating and eating and they're not gaining weight. Then there are those who have done each and everything they can, even including fasting, and they're not losing weight. Yes. But that is one of the problems. Then another thing is, at times, these lectins, when they go into the blood, they interfere with the metabolic process and they slow it down. Right. If you are eating foods not compatible to your blood group, for example, there are some foods, they have particular carbohydrates, some of these lectins, they go into the liver, they interfere with the metabolism to the liver. Others go into the pancreas, interfering with the production of insulin. Others interfere with, so those are all caused, and then eventually you go on putting on weight, and until it starts causing more and more problems. Okay. Of course, there are sometimes some medications which can give you weight, but not everybody is on medication, of course. Then some illnesses can give you weight, not everybody is on medication. Then there are some body systems, like blood group A and AB, stress gives them weight. Because the moment they get stressed, a lot of cortisol are poured into the blood system, and then cortisol hormones, then eventually they impair metabolism. Then metabolism is the rate at which, maybe you have to understand when we talk of weight, what exactly happens. Yes. What happens is all the foods, what they call energy-giving foods, the pineapples, the apples, the cassava, the posho, when they go to the stomach, eventually, we saw in the other video, the other time we talked about sugar, they are converted into, all the sugars in there, all the carbohydrates are converted into glucose. Yes. Naturally, glucose is supposed to be burnt, as we saw. And when that glucose is burnt, it's supposed to give you energy. Okay. And so at times, it's failed to be burnt, or at times it is burnt halfway. Instead of giving energy, it remains halfway as the fats, which go depositing on the body, in the blood, on the body, and everywhere. That's why, remember the diabetes, that's why there's a very big relationship between high blood pressure, diabetes mellitus, and overweight and obesity. Okay. Because all of them, we call them metabolic diseases. There is a problem in transforming, in turning the glucose into energy. So that is how we go putting on weight. The major issue of putting on, if you are not eating foods compatible to your blood group and genotype in their right quantities, and some exercise and lifestyle strategies, there's no way you can control it. The weight will start going on and on and on and on. You may try all sorts of forms, but the weight is not going to go down.
That's for sure. Now, doctor, there's people that actually don't have a problem with their weight. If anything, they believe, okay, this is cool. Lately, weight or someone being actually fat or overweight, I mean, they might not necessarily look at it as being overweight, but if you have some weight on you, people have thought of that to actually be associated to wealth or a certain level of...
That was what it was in the previous generations. Weight is associated with money, with weight and so on.
Is it not true?
If you look at that video showing, as you have been seeing, that video showing people who are overweight, you can see that weight goes on building up, and you can see some of those people clearly in the video, that some of them now, they are having a lot of problems.
It's too late.
It is too late. It's never late. It's never late. We have seen people here, even we have moved people from 130 kilograms and bring them back up to 75. And then they become as if they are young men. So it's not a problem. There is always hope. The moment you are overweight, then you are overloading your body organs. You are likely to have cardiac problems. Things like diabetes are going to come because the insulin now being produced is not enough now even to to help in metabolism. Things like cancer, the immune system is overwhelmed. When cancer cells start developing in, definitely the body system is overwhelmed. I mean, it cannot start fighting cancer cells. Things like the immune system will go low. Things like sexual issues, people will have sex libido will have to go down as we put on weight because circulation is impaired, pressure, breathing issues, things like lack of sleep, things like high cholesterol levels, and psychologically, because when you become overweight, even you start becoming a nuisance in society. You see, you can see that lady who was boarding that motorcycle. You cannot even see the man who is riding that motorcycle. So you start becoming a nuisance. So the only way to keep yourself. Exercises, yes, we tell you, even exercises help, but they don't help so much in reducing weight. But they keep a body system to be fit and a strong immune system so that metabolism is done easily. But otherwise, exercises per se don't go to reduce weight. And if you are doing the wrong exercises, you will even put on more weight. If your blood group and you go to a gym, you are going to put on weight. If you want to go to a gym, yes, you will feel good. Your immune system will go up. You may reduce some weight, but if you don't go to what you are eating, the weight will creep back. So that is it. Otherwise, if exercises were for reducing weight, football players like Messi and others, they would be like ghosts in the field. They are doing exercises, they have one match after another. So that shows you that exercise just help to keep a body system fit, but they will not help you so much to reduce your weight. But they are good to keep you healthy, strong immune system, and keep a body system fit.
So which foods can help someone lose weight?
The foods depend on each body system. We have, for example, genotype GT1 hunter. For them, they need meat to lose weight. Yet blood.
So they'll eat as much meat.
No. At Taimex Nutrition Center, even the food we give you, we tell you in what quantities to consume it and how many times you should consume it.
Right.
Then there are people like blood group A t-shirt, GT3. You give them warrior, for example, GT4. GT5 warrior, you give them meat, they are going to put on weight and have even more health problems. That's why here the foods really differ according to particular body system. What puts weight on another one helps to reduce weight on another one.
Okay.
For example, meat helps to reduce weight on Oz or hunter, but it will put weight on people like blood group A and AB if they eat it.
How often should one, like maybe all hunter, eat meat, for example?
No, for example, GT1 hunter, they can have meat at least 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week. But then there is a quantity. For example, they are not supposed to take a piece of meat which is beyond what they can put in their hand at any survey. Because when we say meat is okay for you, we don't mean that now you can go and sit and slaughter a whole goat and then try to roast it and say they have told me meat is very good. I'm going to sit on a whole goat and finish it this evening. That's wrong.
Okay.
Here we talk of quality and quantity and the compatibility of foods, then plus your exercise and lifestyle strategies. Yep.
Oh, well, how else would we have known all this information? And doctor, you have our attention. You have our attention, and you're at home. You can't be your own doctor. It's very simple. Come through and find out what should you be eating, what's going to be great for your weight, either your weight loss journey. And real quick, doctor, before we let off, the diet pills that are going around and all over the shelves in pharmacies and whatever, do they work for weight loss?
The issue is not to lose the weight. The issue is to avoid putting on the weight, and then the body system will remove the excess weight. That's our principle at Taimex. There are so many ways you can do to lose weight. You can do juice fasting, you can fast for 10 days without eating, but are you going to maintain that weight? Never. If you are using pills and so on to reduce weight, are you going to be taking pills throughout your life? So what controls your weight is what you put in your body system. If you put in the right thing, the weight will automatically, actually for us here we call it automatic adjustment.
Right.
Then you find somebody is automatically adjusted and it puts in the right foods, and you cannot put on any more weight.
Okay. Well, we had the doctor. That's our time. Thank you so much for watching NBS Health Extra. NBS Health Extra, where we teach you how to be your own doctor. How well do you know about your health? And if you do, are you doing anything about staying healthy, or do you need help? And don't we all need help? That's exactly why we came through to Taimex Nutrition Center, where Dr. Tamale Ismail will help us out. Doctors can be very friendly people. If you remember that story from your childhood, visiting hospitals, children right from the very young age, they don't really like doctors, because who wants to be a part of anything that's going to inflict pain, on yourself or stuff like that, give you scary news. Now, as you grow up, you learn to appreciate doctors and the role they play to your health and becoming a better person and living longer. And so the doctors are our friends here on the show. So Taimex Nutrition Center has a different way of looking at health, and Dr. Ismail will tell us a little bit about this. What do you stand for, and how differently should we take your belief as opposed to the normal diet that we're used to, balanced diet from back in school?
Okay. Oh, that's a very good question. Okay, Dr. Tamale Ismail is my name, from Taimex Nutrition Center, and we are located here on Nasa Road. The building is called Conrad Plaza, where there is Aptech, and we are on the second floor. Also, for viewers who are in Mbarara, clients in Mbarara, you can always get us on Amazon House on High Street. You'll find Taimex Nutrition Center, and those are the two places where we're operating at the moment, but we hope to expand more. Now, maybe those who have still just people who have seen us for the first time today, they would want to know what is all this Taimex Nutrition Center, what are they doing?
Yes.
And the question is, we are used to the old diet with no balanced diet, and so on and so on and so on. So maybe
Right.
I'll take this opportunity to make some clarification. But first of all, Taimex Nutrition Center, what we do is exactly what is in that video. You come, we get your blood group, just to know the blood. We get blood sample from you just to test your blood group.
That's the first step.
First step. High-tech system, blood group, 2 minutes. Done. Then we do a lot of measurements on your body system. After getting the body measurements, we combine them with the blood group, put in the computer system, then the system will tell us your genetic information as formulated by Dr. Peter Diadamo. We told you the Taimex Nutrition Center here we represent Dr. Peter Diadamo, who is seated in the United States of America, and whatever we do here is not our own research, it is Peter Diadamo's research. Some of you could have read about his books, Eat Right for Your Type, Live Right for Your Type, Genotype Diet, and so many others.
That has changed over the years, right?
Others have changed over the years. Now, after getting the genotype, the system will tell you what foods to eat and not to eat. The foods to eat are those which are supposed to support your immune system. Those ones not to eat are the ones which work as medicine in your body system. Then the system will show you what exercise to do and lifestyle strategies
To follow.
to follow. Yeah. Then if you do that, then you have put your health in your hands, because that's exactly what we do. We train you to be a doctor for your health, and that will cost you only 110,000 shillings. But if you have diseases like diabetes, ulcers, pressures, diabetes may cost you up to 900,000 shillings, pressure up to 800, obesity 750, and so many other ailments, depending on what package you have. But if you have not got any package and you are not sick, say 110,000 shillings and you walk away, and you never be sick again, because falling sick after leaving Taimex Nutrition Center is by choice. Then so those are the food supplements you have seen, which we sell to you. They are according to your blood group and genotype, taken once in a lifetime, and the dose takes 30 days, and be extracted from organic foods. Now, then we also introduce to you some of the natural foods which we have been showing you on the paper. You look at them practically to know what is quinoa, what is the almonds, what are flax seeds, how should you use them, what is green tea, and so on. So that's what we do. Then after that, you finish up in my office, where we counsel people. Of course, people have a problem, I've been addicted to this, I've been addicted to this. We cancel out And actually, it is there that will tell you, if you are not going to follow the diet, don't spend your 800,000 shillings or whatever money to take any supplement, because it is not going to help you permanently. Here, we are looking at permanent solutions. That's why we say you should come here, you do it once in a lifetime, and you don't do it again if you become disciplined. Now, the question you are saying, we are used to our traditional eating.
Balanced diet.
Yes, of course, we have had the nutrition which has been there. It is called what we call the traditional nutrition or the old nutrition. It is basically called the version in the year 1818. Why 1818? Because in 1818, blood groups were discovered. No, blood transfusion was discovered, but the groups were not known. So people were just transfusing blood anyhow. Others would die. If they give him would be, that one would die. If all they give, all that one would survive. It was by
a gamble.
So similarly, with the nutrition which was developed from since that time, it was mainly looking at what food ingredients are in particular foods. This one has proteins, this has carbohydrates, this has vitamins, this has mineral salts. So try to balance them in your body. Okay? But the balancing that was there, they were not balancing according to body system. That's why, to some people, if you give them that diet, it works for them. If you put that diet and give it to another one, it will not work for him. That's where the irony were coming. If you tell somebody, for example, don't eat meat, don't eat chicken, don't eat, for example, for a blood group A warrior, he will be very fine. For a blood group O hunter, travel, he's going to have gas in the stomach, he's going to have alcohol.
Without meat?
Without meat, yes. Why? Because that's why here, before it was a general, it was general. The nutrition was general. That's why it could only solve about 30% of the problems. Because not everybody is supposed to eat what is supposed to.
The same.
So here in Taimex Nutrition Center, one, our diet, first of all, we use it on a balanced diet. But we balance the foods. We balance the foods in the compatibility sense. That you are going to take a balanced diet, but which is compatible to your blood group and genotype. That's the first thing. Here we go even further. We even give you the quantity specification. That you know, if you are taking, for example, matoke, you should take this quantity. Don't go beyond. If you are among those taking to fish, you should take this quantity. We go to give you the quantity specifications. Then not only that with nutrition, we go also to give you the quality. How should you prepare your foods to maintain, so that it remains with the nutrients that you need. Not only, then we also go further to show you how should you eat this food when it's on table. We call it food layering.
Oh.
Yes. And then we also show you food combination, which particular foods can be combined and eaten. You find people today, they are putting juice, there is putting their melon, is putting their oranges, is putting their all sorts of things. If you're adding vegetables with the fruits and everything with the carrots and so, then after that is getting heartburns and it's getting belching. So this is what we call food combination. Here we show you what we call food combination. How should you combine your foods to have a very good healthy body system.
Okay.
Then we also go ahead to show you now what exercises are fitted for your body system.
For our body
and
system.
what life strategies to avoid stress and fight stress are, which are not in the traditional nutrition. The traditional nutrition will only tell you, take a balanced diet, take some eggs, some carbohydrates, take some posho, take some chapati, and you stop there.
And that's exactly what I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned fruits as if it could be a problem. And the balanced diet, as we know it, fruits are okay.
Fruits are okay, but not everybody's system has fruits to take. There are those who take mangoes, there are those who don't take mangoes. There are those who take apples, there are those who don't take apples. So the system will tell you, for you can take apples, you can't take mangoes. You can take things like pineapples, you cannot take things like pawpaws. Then others, they can. It is so strict that it can tell you, you can take pineapple juice, but never to eat a pineapple. So we have body systems who can take pineapple juice, but they're not supposed to take pineapple.
The fear, doctor, from someone that hasn't been to Taimex would be how seemingly expensive this Christian lifestyle would be.
It is the cheapest in the world. One, we are telling you to eat things which are already in your kitchen, which are already in your house, of which you are spending a lot of money buying in the markets.
I mean, we're hearing
so
things like
what you are just going to do is to eliminate and remain with those which are more useful to your body system. And secondly, other critics of the system used to say, oh, now you are going to, if you are 5 people in the house, you are going to have this box. No, they are what we call universal foods, which cut across. If one is a blood group or hunter, another one is a beer nomad, they can take rice, they can take goat's meat, they can end up taking sweet potatoes, they can take beef, they can take so many foods
so
together.
It's important to know what everyone
exactly. So in the family, always you find that there are foods which become common to others.
Okay.
That's why you see,
that's
and
better.
Actually I come to this, that's why you find that in some homes, you find some people are always falling sick, and others are not falling sick.
And we would love to know exactly what happens with that situation. You're watching NBS Health Extra. The whole disease thing is overwhelming to lots of us on a daily, but we've heard of diseases that run in the family. Are they genetically inherited?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. We have what we call genetic diseases. And as you say, we have diseases running in the family. Now, to understand why diseases running in the family are not genetic.
No.
A genetic disease is that one, because your father had it, he passed it over to you during your being for formation in your mother's uterus. And therefore, you are born with that disease.
Okay.
There are no genes that somebody, the man had high blood pressure and the woman had high blood pressure, therefore the kid has inherited the gene of high blood pressure. No. If it had been like that, you would be seeing so many young children with pressure, with high blood pressure. Because you know, children, most of the parents today, some of them were not eating right, who have not come to Taimex. They are battling pressure, others are battling arthritis, others are battling diabetes. You will be seeing so many of those cases. But to understand why diseases run in families, we are going to look at the chart of, first of all, I'm going to show you that we are going to look at that chart which shows how blood groups are formed.
Let's hear
Where are
it.
you picking the blood group?
Yes.
After knowing where you're picking the blood group, then we shall go to find out why diseases run in the family. So if you look at that chart, if your father is a blood group O and your mother is an O, then you are going to be a blood group O. There cannot be another blood group unless the woman produces it from elsewhere.
In the family?
In the family.
Okay.
If the man is O and the woman is O, the child has to be O. Full stop. Unless the woman produces that kid, go to the pregnancy where to be an A, it can't be another blood group. Now, if one of the parents is O, another one is A, then the children they have, either they have a child whose blood group O or A. If one of the parents is O, another one is B, then the children produce either O or B. If one of the parents is O and another one is AB, then the children produce either blood group A or blood group B. Now, if you have a parent A with both parents being blood group A, then the children they produce either blood group A or O. Now, if you have A and B, one parent being A, another one being B, then the children can be blood group O, or A, or B, or AB. So a blood group A, if a man is A and a woman is B, they can produce 4 children when one is O, another one is A, another one is AB, and another one is B. So that is how we do that. The chart shows you. If A and AB, the children are A, B, and AB. B and B, if the parents are all both B, then their children are either blood group O or B. If B and AB, then you have B, A, and AB. Then if you have both parents being AB, they are going to produce children who are blood group A, B, or blood group AB. Now, that is how the blood groups come in. Now, when we come to diseases running in the family, we have seen that according to this research, for every blood group, before I even go to genotype, there is a disease line and profile. For example, we saw very well that people of blood group O, if they are not changing their diet and eating according to their blood groups and genotype, they are major victims of allergy, gas in the stomach, ulcers, joint pains, what we call arthritis, which we looked at the other time.
Yes.
High blood pressure, sinuses, asthma, and prostate cancer in men after age 60. Those are the blood group O disease profile.
Oh, right.
That means if the mother was O and the father was O, they will have those diseases. And if the child is also O, who is becoming also going to be reckless as the parents and is not come to know which foods to eat, then he's also going to have the same. So you'll find pressure running in a family. If, for example, if O and A, the child they produce is either O or A. Now, those children who will be O will have the O disease profile. Those who are A will have the A disease profile. What is the A disease profile? And the A disease profile was also picked from the mother. Now, if the child is A and the mother was A, and he does not change the diet to come to Taimex Institution Center, then the diseases that killed his parent A are going to get him. And what are they? Of course, we saw that blood group A, they have a very sensitive digestive system. They are always people who are battling constipation left, right, and center.
Right.
Number 2, they are major victims of food poisoning. Number 3, they have a problem of metabolism. So they are major victims of diabetes mellitus, cardiac problems, stroke, and high blood pressure. So if there was a parent A in the family, and the child is also born a parent A, and he doesn't come to change his lifestyle, that's why they are called lifestyle strategies. He doesn't come to change his foods and exercise and so on. The diseases that killed the parent A will kill him because he's also an A. So you end up with diabetes, pressure, cardiac problems. That's when you hear that, in that family, pressure runs in the family, diabetes runs in that family. Because why? The parent was a particular body system, which body system is prone to a particular disease. And therefore, if the parent died of that, and the child also took that blood group and body system, and he has not changed the food, he will also have the problem. If you change the food, you break off the chain. If you come to an institution center, those diseases that killed your parents, or which your parents have, there is no way they will ever get you. So you cannot say those are genetic diseases. They are diseases running in the family because of eating the same foods, having the same sort of lifestyle strategy, and that is wow.
But you can do something about it.
If you have a blood group B people, blood group P have very strong immune system, of course. Their major problems is fatigue, flu, cough, skin disorders, and UTIs. Those are the ones which will disturb them. So if the parents had them, the children who are born with the B, they also have the same thing. Now, blood group AB is similar to
A and B.
And to A, AB is similar to B, to A only.
Oh.
In the disease profile, they have sensitive digestive system, they have a problem of diabetes, cardiac problems, stroke, pressure, and so on, if they are not coming to change the foods. So that's why the foods will run in the family, not because they have genetically been inherited, but they have taken up a body system which is, if not given particular foods, is prone to these diseases. And since they have taken up the body system, then they are going to have a disease. That's why you'll find in a family, for example, if a man is O and a woman is A, and you have children of O and A, now that family will have, the children of A will be constant visitors. If they are not changing their diet, coming to us here, time exchange diet, they are going to be constant visitors to the pediatricians. Because blood group A are more prone to infections, and where you give a blood group O one single dose, and A you need to repeat it. Because we saw their body system, they sort of take long to recognize they have been attacked. So you find that the blood group A children will always be sick, while the O are a bit strong. Also, are not going to have things like allergy. If you're giving them a lot of milk, they'll have things like allergy and nasal congestion and so on. But these A's, infections, stomach, every time running stomachs and so on and so on. That's why that's what we find it in Peru. Why? Because these children have that body system. If you have a body system, for example, a man in O, a woman in O, then the children are all going to be O. That is a house where you find them either sneezing or finding them, making noise with their throats the whole morning, sneezing, wheezing, because they are more prone to allergies.
Okay, maybe if I could just jump in for a bit there. For someone that's out there, probably the singles watching the show right now, they might run to the thought corner of a possibility of knowing how compatible they are, or should they really care to know the blood groups of these people, the partners, before
of course,
they
maybe
make
now
these
that
vows?
is the characteristic things. That's why, for example, we say the blood group or they're stressful for lies in the muscle. For them, when you annoy them, they will abuse you, they can beat you, they can cry, they can yell, they can go and calling everybody.
Those are the O's.
Those are the O's. Then the following day, he has forgotten now about that and do something new.
They're easily forgiven?
They easily forget what was there in the past. Then you have people like blood group A. They are very quiet. They don't want things that stress them. They don't want to be told lies. They are in a world of their own. They want to be alone most of the time. They don't want things that are stressful. Actually, if you subject a blood group A to a relationship where there is a lot of stress, she's likely to jump out. They don't want things that stress them out. They are very peaceful. They want to be in quiet environments. They don't shout. They don't want noise. They don't yell. So those are some of the characteristics that come out.
Very envy.
Blood group B. Now those ones are very friendly. They want people. They are always. So if you are a B getting married to an A, and A doesn't want people, the B is always bringing thousands of people in the house. That can stress an A. You see, that is where at times the blood groups can help in the characteristic. Blood group A, B is a chameleon. At times they can want people. When the B is on the head, they are very friendly and so on. When the A comes on the head, they don't want people.
It's hard to tell where they lie.
You have to find out in what mood they are. Now he wants to be alone, he will chase you away. He may find them saying, you people should be visiting me. Then when you go to visit him,
they act inconvenient.
The A comes on and says, what about, don't you have other things to do? What are you doing? You go away. That sort of thing. Then at times they can erupt. They can, when they get stressed, they can erupt and shout and yell. Then after some time, the A comes on, they cool, they sort of inclusive. But this blood group, as you see, AB is just 4% in the world. And there are this AB and A, they are mainly distributed. The blood group AB is 4% in the world. They are not many. Blood group A, as you see, they are only about 40% in the world. And they are only 18% in Africa. Most of the balance of the 82% of this blood group A is distributed in America, Europe, Asia, and those countries. Then blood group B, they are only 8% in the world. And in Africa, they are only 6%. 94% of them, they live in Middle East and other countries. Now, blood group O, which is very hard work, they are 50% in, they are first of all 45% in the world. And 50% of blood group O live in Africa. That's why you see with Africa, they are they are easily excited over something. Then all of a sudden they are doing this. Those are the people you find.
The majority they're on this week, and they move on so easily to the next one.
Simple thing, he can easily demonstrate. Then the other day he wonders what he starts regulating why he demonstrated to that. So, because they are stressful for life so much in the muscle. Okay.
Now, doctor, this is very important because I've heard from someone before that they knew a friend who was having issues with miscarriages, constant miscarriages. Each time this couple tried to have children, they ended up, yes. And to them, the thought, all they had, it's probably the fact that they're not compatible, dependent on their blood groups. How true is this?
Of course, blood groups and miscarriages, there is, when somebody's blood group is checked, you can be A plus or A minus, B minus, B plus, O plus. Now, people who are O minus, people, first of all, the difference between being a blood group B positive or A positive or A minus is a blood sugar antigen. If you are found with a blood sugar antigen, which was found on the rhesus monkeys in the jungles of Congo, then you are A plus, O plus, B plus. If you don't have that rhesus factor of the monkey, then you are O minus. Now the problem is, if a woman, for example, is A minus, and gets a woman, a man, O plus or B plus, and the child formed in the stomach of the womb of the woman is a plus, the child, the woman can deliver the first child, but by that time the body is stimulating a lot of antibodies to fight this positive out of the negative body. So you may find somebody starting miscarriage. So the next when she starts conceiving again, she starts getting those miscarriages. But today, ladies, if you are going to deliver, you go to professional gynecologists. There are some injections they will give you. You stabilize your hormones, and you are not going to get miscarriages. True, it used to be before, but now with advance in technology and science, it's no longer happening if you go to the proper gynecologist.
Okay, so maybe people that have been subjected to this and they're facing, constant miscarriages, because sometimes the myth runs, someone is bewitched, or this one just has bad luck or something like that. Yeah. But yet it's actually...
Yeah, but also we have some body systems like a GT3, GT5 warrior. They are major victims of hormonal imbalance, and they usually become infertile, often in early adulthood. They are usually blood group A and AB, but not every, the genotype is called warrior. It's either originates from A or AB. They have, so they are also, so you may find that you are among your body system, you are GT5 warrior. So you may find yourself having those miscarriages, especially if you're not eating the right foods. Of course, it's a more of a European, Asian sort of body system, so most foods in Africa don't work for them. So they get these problems. We have been encountering such problems, and we have been helping people out of it. Yeah.
Well, you do a good job. You do a good job, and thank you so much for taking us through. Quite eye-opening. Quite eye-opening. Now, in case you want to know a whole lot more, we can only have but a few minutes here on the show, but in case you want to know some more, you can come through to Taimex Nutrition Center and see Dr. Ismail Tamale, where they will help you with details and perhaps help you out of your situation. That's been our time today. Thank you so much, Doctor, and we'll see you next week. Christmas to you all. Thank you so much for watching NBS Health Extra. Now it is holiday. The season is here. The excitement is around. Too many parties, family reunions, and everything that comes with the celebration. But while we love some very good and tasty food, it's very easy for us to forget about our health this season. And Dr. Tamale Ismail from Taimex is here to remind us that health, even after the festive season, is what should be our priority. Stick around, it is NBS Health Extra. Let's enjoy the season, enjoy and celebrate with family, but also being mindful of exactly what's on the plate and the quantities that we are enjoying this season, because at the end of it all, there's weight issues to fight in the new year and all that. And we know that it comes with so much if you don't manage your eating or if you don't eat healthy. So we are at Taimex Nutrition, so we can get some guidance on how to behave this season and what should be on our tables, what's safe and what's not. Dr. Tamale Ismail is here to let us in on that. How are you feeling? Are you good?
I'm very good.
Are you into the whole festive feel?
Yes, of course, definitely, yes. Good evening, viewers. Dr. Tamale Ismail is my name from Taimex Nutrition Center.
Yes.
And Taimex Nutrition Center, we are located here on Nasa Road. The building is called Conrad Plaza. And here we represent Dr. Peter Diadamo in the whole continent of Africa. Also, we are found in Imbarara on a street called High Street in a building called the Amazon House. You can always get us there on the first floor. For some of you viewers who are seeing Taimex Nutrition Center for the first time, who have been called by your friends to find out what it's about, here, Taimex Nutrition Center, our major emphasis is to train you to be a doctor for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody understands your health better than yourself.
The way you do.
And unless you take charge of your health, you're in trouble. Don't allow anybody to take charge of it. You can go for consultants, that's why they are called consultants, but first take the primary stages in your health. Those of you who have just come to see us for the first time here on the television, if you look at that video, it shows you clearly what takes place. You come here, we get your blood group. That blood test you see here, we just get your blood group. Then we do a lot of measurements on your body system, which tell us your genetic information. Then after that, of course, we also do some other tests, like we test your sugar levels, your blood pressure. We find out the fats you have, are they the normal ones you're supposed to have? The weight you have, is it the right weight? Are you balancing your lean meat with the fats? Because all those are triggers of diseases and problems. Then after that, we tell you what foods to eat and not to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, the best medicine is the foods which are compatible to your blood group and body system. If you want to prove this, go and ask anywhere in the world, ask anybody, where is the microorganism which causes pressure? What causes diabetes? What causes cardiac problems? What is the major causes of cancer? What causes arthritis, joint pains? What causes gout? All these diseases, there is no microorganism which causes them. They are caused by the foods we eat. But what foods should we eat to avoid these diseases and to treat these diseases? That's when you have to come to Taimex Nutrition Center and you go through that process. Then you know which foods to eat and not to eat. That's why you will not find it globally. There is nowhere in the whole world where they take people to be vaccinated against high blood pressure, to be vaccinated against diabetes mellitus, to be vaccinated against cardiac problems and stroke and gout and joint pains. It is not there. You can only vaccinate those diseases if you came to Taimex Nutrition Center and know what foods to take and not to take. Then also you can, if you have them, don't get worried. They cure if you tackle the root cause of the problem. Just come to Taimex Nutrition Center. We shall tell you what foods to take and not to take. We shall give you some of our supplements which you take for about 30 days. And that will be the end of the story. of your pressure, diabetes, gout, joint pains, and so on. Why? Because here at Taimex Institution Center, we attempt to tackle the root cause of the problem other than the problem. Why some of these diseases, you see them recurring, not going, people being on medication from January to December, is that 95% of people who treat the diseases, they do treat the diseases, but they don't go back to treat the root cause of the problem. So they continue reoccurring. The pressure was, this diabetes levels were high in the morning, you take a medication, it goes down in the afternoon, you have gone up. Why? You have not tackled the root cause of the problem. So here we tackle root causes of problems, and whereby we arm you to be a doctor for yourself. After getting all these measurements and telling you the foods to eat and not to eat, exercise to do, lifestyle strategy, we said you the food stuff. By the way, it is very, very cheap. Taimex Nutrition Center is the cheapest healthy treatment system in the world. Why? You come here once in a lifetime. You pay 110,000 shillings, you get out when you know the foods to eat, exercises, and lifestyle strategy. That's number one. If you have a problem, I have diabetes, I have pressure, diabetes may cost you about 700,000 shillings, pressure may cost you about 900,000 shillings, obesity 800, but you take these supplements once in a lifetime. You don't need to come back here, as long as you go and put your foods in order. Many people, you don't get any problem. Many people ask, but you see, when I came there, they removed me from everything to eat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you that these body systems we have, they are global. Okay? And because the body systems are global, particular body systems have been acclimatized to particular regions. For example, I give you an example. If you're a blood group A teacher, GT3, that body system is mainly Asian. So most of the African foods will not work for you. And if you force yourself to eat these African heaps of African food, that body system doesn't sit on heaps of African foods. If you are going to sit on them, you are going to make sure
you have a problem.
You have a problem. The problem will start in the stomach. Digestive system, constipation, running stomach, then immune system will start going down. You start frequenting hospitals up and down. Right. If you're blood group A, blood group AB, those are not so much African body systems. So most of the foods, when we are giving them foods, you find that we are tailoring foods to their brothers and sisters in India and in China. So don't complain, but some of the foods are here. Then they have body systems like a GT1 hunter. It is a typical African body system. They are usually blood group O's. And that's why in Africa here they live for over 100, 110, 120 years. Because most of the foods work for them here. They eat matoke, they take potatoes, they take chicken, they take meat. They take most of these other foods. Then you have other body systems which are not acclimatized here. That's why you see, you'll find in a community or even in a home, you find some people at age 60, they are dying. They are having problems, they are having diabetes. They are at age 45, 50, others are going to India at age 38. They go there first time, second time, third time, we are coming coffins at the airport. Then you find people at age 75, 90, 80. Some of them even have not received an injection. For example, blood group hunter, if they are people who have been Taimex, they know this. He may take even 30 years without knowing what malaria is.
That's true.
A blood group A and AB, it is very rare to finish a year without having a bout of malaria. So this is exactly what we do here at Taimex Nutrition Center. So you just need to come here, we train you and be a doctor for yourself. Don't complain about the foods. The foods I've given you, they are the ones which are supposed to keep your immune system strong and keep you healthy. If you divert from them, then you have to make sure that you have to open up accounts in the next pharmacies, clinics and hospitals.
And end up spending a whole lot more. And maybe, Doctor, just the other week we were trying to figure out the blood group formation and all. Until now, some people have had of blood group A minus, B minus, O plus, and all that. So what's the difference between these positives and negatives?
That is a classification within the blood groups. Initially, when the blood groups were invented, they were just blood group B. They don't look at more antigens associated to the blood group. You say that blood group you have, the blood group, has got particular antigens. Now, if you are blood group B positive, okay, it means there is a blood sugar antigen which is found in the rhesus monkeys in Congo, which is on your blood. Those who don't have it, that means they don't have that rhesus, they don't have that blood sugar antigen. But most people of African origin, they are O plus, they are plus, because they have that monkey thing, they are rhesus plus.
Negative rhesus is mainly found in Europe, America, and so on and so on. Those are the more common there. Even here there are some, but there are few. Even here when it comes to diet, the diet will differ. Blood group B minus and B plus, they may end up having different genetic formation, they may end up having different foods. And that's why they end up having different disease profile and categories.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Well, the discussion still continues. We are trying to look at our plates and probably make up all these budgets of the things we're going to eat. But think about your health and then your family. What's safe for you to eat without running to the doctor or having weird tummy aches and issues. In a little bit, we talk about what the doctors call IBS. That's what it's known as. That's in a little bit. So IBS, as the professionals know, is known as the irritable bowel syndrome. At some point in time, there are foods that we eat and we're okay. We'll have a good day, we'll have a party, and then there are those that actually have us running to the places of convenience in just a quick second, even before you have a chance to finish whatever is on your plate. Did you know that that's simply because you're eating what you're not supposed to be eating at that time? So doctor, let's talk about this. I mean, the Christmas season is here and people are excited. And
okay, ladies and gentlemen, irritable bowel syndrome, as you can see that video, is a condition which takes place in the large intestine. Now, when food reaches from after eating, we have been seeing these digestion things. We are not going to repeat them again. But when food reaches the large intestine, it starts moving by a system called peristalsis. It goes, the intestine goes on pressing itself, like then eventually the food goes out. Now, that movement is supposed to be in a normal rhythm, okay? And those contractions, yeah, the peristalsis is supposed to be done normally. But now, something goes wrong, which we are going to find out what actually happens. At times, it happens, as you will see that diagram, that peristalsis, instead of moving in its normal rhythm, it starts moving very, very fast. Now, first of all, when this stuff is, when the waste, the human waste is passing through the large colony, it's supposed to go there at a particular, it moves there at a particular speed.
Right.
And at that time, water is being absorbed out, in a rhythmic manner, until the stool passes out. That's the normal thing.
yes.
Now, certain reason, there are problems, which we call the IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. What at times usually happens in the large intestine. Now, that rhythmic movement is either escalated and moves so fast. It moves so fast
than normal.
So more than normal. It's like a normal heartbeat and now palpitations. It moves so fast that the large intestine has no time to remove even the water from the stool as it goes out. So you pass it out as you stool, causing diarrhea. Then at times, the whole system slows down. Then it starts slowing down, and now the rhythm is lower than normal. So the rate at which the food is going through the large intestine becomes slower. So that means you are going to have more food remaining in the large intestine, causing things like constipation. So irritable bowel syndrome can cause you either a running stomach or constipation. So that is what we call that's what we call irritable bowel syndrome. But however, there is no microorganism which causes this irritable bowel syndrome. First of all, there are so many nerves which are linked to the large intestine and the small intestine, which push the message into the brain. And when the message goes into the brain, there is a chamber in the brain which is supposed to identify, to corroborate this information and find out whether it is genuine or fake. Now, in most cases, there is wrong information is sent to the brain and it is misinterpreted. That the large intestine is full. It has to remove whatever is there. Immediately, instructions are sent, and then you have that peristalsis being very high. Or at times it is said that there is nothing when actually there is a lot of it and it starts going slow. But the major cause of all this problem is not a microorganism. It is eating foods which are not compatible to your blood group and genotype. In fact, to some people, they even know it. There are people who tell you, whenever, so you find such people, whenever he goes to a function, he will sit, the first thing he will ask, where are the toilets? That's his first question. So that he knows anytime, anything can happen. And actually, as he is just halfway eating, he's already having a problem with the stomach. And when he goes out of the stomach, to show you that the problem is the large intestine, you don't pass out the food you have just eaten. No, the one which has been in the large intestine is that which comes out. So that irregular muscular movement of the large intestine causes that what we call IBS. Then at times problems come from the small intestine. We saw that when you eat foods which are not compatible to your body system, and times they reach the small intestine. When they reach some of the lectins in these foods, when they reach there, they attract the immune system. So the immune system comes and starts attacking the small intestine, and all of a sudden somebody's having diarrhea out of the blue. They go to check, he has no infection, he has no what, there's no cholera, there's no area.
They're okay.
Yeah, everything is okay, but he's having a running stomach. Because at times running stomachs may come as a result of an infection. Because now when it becomes an infection, of course, the body system now moves in a rhythmic manner to start removing whatever is bad out. It's, diarrhea now, for example, things like this disease which called diarrhea, as a result of the immune system being, the brain getting information that there is an infection, there is a problem within the digestive system throughout whatever is there. Then you see somebody having diarrhea all the time.
They go in defense mode.
The IBS I'm talking about, here there is no microorganism, there is no diarrhea, there is no dysentery, there is no anything. But the body system gets uncoordinated messages which are caused by eating wrong food. In fact, most people who have this problem, they know. Me, whenever I eat that thing,
if it's
before I
milk,
even finish it, I'm having diarrhea. Others know when I eat this thing, it slows my digestion. There are particular foods we know which will cause which will slow the movement of the foods in the digestive system. That's when you come to Taimex.
Anyway.
And people like them, and some of them are delicacies. So when people come to Taimex Nutrition Center, when you know the foods to eat, then it becomes, you cannot have this problem of IBS. Actually, if you have it, it will vanish. Because now, there's not going to be some autoimmune problem within that. So those are some of the changes in that causes it.
What risk factors come with IBS?
So many. One of it, of course, first of all, you get diarrhea. So you are likely to be, you are pushing out much water than necessary. You are going to be dehydrated. When it slows down, you are going to get constipated. The other time we saw that constipation alone has 40 diseases in a row. Yeah. So we are not going to repeat them. That one is already a problem. Then, of course, you are losing a lot of mineral salts. It can lead somebody to start losing weight. Because every time he's eating something out, the moment he tastes something, he's passing it out. So even the food before it is properly ready to be pushed out, it is pushed. It is out. So a lot of mineral salts are lost, and so many. So you find people losing weight. So those are some of the big challenges that people will get with that sort of thing. Of course, it causes things at times like iron deficiency. Then it can even trigger things like vomiting. Then it has to bring things like a difficulty in swallowing. Those are some of the persistent pains. Especially in the bowel syndrome, you hear somebody every time is complaining that the intestines are moving up and down, and then you get things like bloating, things the intestines are making noise and every time. So those are all causes of that IBS. And of course, it is mainly triggered by food.
Yes.
Especially wrong foods, they will trigger that issue. Of course, even stress. There are people, the moment you tell him, do you know what? Your containers have landed, have been stolen. Immediately gets that bad news, the next thing you move into the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah, why? Now he has got stressed and the message has come to the large intestine to sort out whatever is there. You have seen many people having problems and eventually they end up having diarrhea. You see, they start frequenting the problems, frequenting the parents, frequenting the when they have told him bad news. That is now stress which can cause that. Then of course there are hormones. At times it's hormone imbalance. Some of these hormones, especially this happens so much in women. And actually women are more likely to have IBS than men. Yeah, because even at times women can have this problem, the IBS, caused by hormonal imbalances. Some women get it, especially when they are in their menstrual period, some of them get it. So when there's hormone imbalance, that also can come.
That's only temporal.
That is temporary, yes. But the major prevention for this is come to Taimex Nutrition Center and you know the foods to eat. Diet is the major issue of IBS. Of course, things like stress, but not so much. Stress could be about 10% or 15% because many people get bad news, but they don't end up going frequenting toilets. So yeah,
So
it's mainly diet factor.
Okay, so now do we know if maybe certain genotypes are more prone to IBS?
Yeah, one of the most prone genotypes to this IBS are mainly blood group A and AB. Because A and AB, they have a very, very, very sensitive digestive system. And to make it worse, people in Africa with A and AB, most of the African foods don't work for them. So they usually trigger off that thing. They trigger off that thing. That's why you find people with blood group and AB, they are major victims of food poisoning, IBS. Somebody can, in fact, if you watch, you go to function, you'll find these people, they don't almost eat. On a buffet, you find him putting 2 forks of food here and there and a small water and says, I'm done. Said why? He said, no, that's enough. Because he knows if he puts in more, issues are going to come up with the stomach. Either there and then or when back home. So so blood group A, especially A teacher, A warrior, A explorer, they're a bit strong. Then AB teacher and AB warrior. Because AB nomad is a bit strong, it may not have that problem so much. But other times it can also come. So it all depends on the genotypes. But of course, for those who have come to Taimex Nutrition Center, the first information I give you, don't be fooled around. Don't be confused by anybody. People will tell you, oh, you eat this. People who died did not die of this. Yes, we saw that when you don't eat compatible foods, it sets up a serotonin go down in the body system, and eventually it will end where it wants. So please, don't get swayed up. Don't get tempted. Keep your foot firm. Those who have not come to Taimex Nutrition Center, well, you have a problem, but you can try to control it. One, eat little, because one of you try to eat as little food as possible. Don't eat to exhaustion. Try to do some small exercises. Don't stay just seated at home because it's a big day, especially people of blood group O. Don't try to sit at home, because if you sit at home for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, therefore you'll be sick. You have the pains, body pains, and so on, and then immediately you are going to hospital, then they tell you we don't see what you are suffering from. So then also watch.
Late night eating, is it a problem?
Late night eating for people who are eating correct foods compatible to their body system is no problem.
Oh.
But if you are the type who is eating anyhow, then I will not advise you to eat. To do the late night eating, try to and look at portion. Don't overeat. Try to also to do food layering. We have been showing you what food layering is when you are eating food to avoid digestive complications. Because I'm sure after the first 4 seasons, those who are not going to take care in eating, you'll find them in the pharmacies, clinics will be full, hospitals are going to be full. Why? Digestive problem. What's usual? Gas, constipation, diarrhea, food poisoning. Those are going to be the order of the day. But you can avoid all that. Why do you spend your money to take you into bad health? Yet you should spend your money to give you good health. So that is the tip I'm giving to viewers, Ugandans. Take care when those who have come to Taimex Nutrition Center, you know what to do. Don't be confused by anybody. Stick to your foods. I know it is very tempting. My brothers and sisters, they have blood group A and AB, A teacher, warrior. I know your problems you're having with the foods, but don't be so much tempted. Those who have not come to Taimex Nutrition Center, mind the portion. The portion will help you to reduce some of the problems you would have had. Yeah.
You have the doctor, it's about the portion, but most importantly, it's about you knowing what you should and what you shouldn't. And then also paying attention to what the doctor tells you. It's very easy for us to, compromise and try to do cheats here and there, but this won't be the time unless you're willing to spend or throw some extra money trying to get health assistance or medical assistance. Otherwise, we wish you nothing but the best of health, and we want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you so much for watching NBS Health Extra. You enjoy your time and be safe, but remember to be your own doctor. We'll see you next week.